Kevin McCullough.
And we're back. Welcome back to Times Square. Kevin McCullough, glad to have you with us. It may be a little bit bracing to you to hear that these states and municipalities are changing out their representative flags for flags that have inherently Islamic designs put within them. But when you understand that in places like Michigan and Minnesota and Utah, where large numbers of Islamic immigrants live, and these supposed needs to, have flags surveyed and have, suggestions given, and then the finalists all narrowed down, and then so many of the finalists to have the Islamic design embedded within is just, it's patently absurd to say that this is by accident. If you want to know more about what Jacqueline Toberoff, my guest, has written about this, you can go to her Substack, which is Supermoms Activated Substack.com, and you can check that out. And she's also writing for Human Events, and you can read more there. And there will be more. I would actually strongly encourage you to follow her on all the social media that you can, because she puts links up to this nonstop, and she works harder than just about anybody I know. So Jacqueline, thank you for all of that. I want to go back to the idea of the inherent design in all of this. Is there an active campaign that you have uncovered that is intentionally doing this state to state, city to city? Are there groups that are dedicating themselves to this task? Are they going by other names? What's the methodology that you've uncovered thus far?
There are other groups. The question is how many? Again, some of them are designated terrorist organizations. Some of them are NGOs, and it's really terrifying how deep this goes. The design of this, again, is really under the guise of a unity flag. That is what they are calling it. They use this very flowery language to fool us. There's nothing unifying about this. It's really the erasure of...
Well, I'm just going to bet. I'm just going to go out on a limb here, be kind of crazy. I'm going to bet that almost none of them, if any, would have allowed a Star of David to appear alongside of the Islamic star on any of these state flags.
Or a cross. But I think really the point of what you're saying is that we are Judeo-Christian, and it is highly suspicious that they are choosing this 8-point Islamist symbol. That's really the crux of the issue here. And if you look at the committees, the task force committees, specifically for Minnesota, which was founded by Scandinavians, Irish, British, German, the committee for the flag design was it excluded all of those groups. The first group it wanted was African heritage. Then it wanted Latino. There was no area necessitating anyone who was Christian or white or, again, Scandinavian, German, Irish, British. So the whole thing is just a farce. It's disgusting. And it is the erasure of the Judeo-Christian American ethos.
You mentioned some cities and you mentioned some states. Is there a particular political leaning in the states where this is happening? Do they happen to shade more blue? Is there more Democrat involvement in this effort?
Actually, no. Minnesota is all Democrat, the 3 branches there, but not all of the cities and states. It's really surprising. And there is a coordinated effort to really just, it seems like, to strong arm these people, the legislatures.
With guilt, they're gonna Islamo guilt them into doing this.
Yeah, there's definitely some leverage. We'll give you an endorsement. We will do this. We will lobby. We will show up in force, or we won't show up in force. There's a lot of that going on. And
is the Israel-Hamas conflict playing any role in this?
You know, you would be surprised how far back this goes. It seems like, again, COVID and lockdowns was the vehicle to really mainstream this, but I find new designs that actually started in 2018 before lockdowns. This is really, you know, you talk about Minnesota and Barack Obama. This has been in the works for a while, and everything was hidden, and then COVID happens and lockdowns happen, and we see so much. I mean, there's still so much we don't know, but we were exposed to so much. And this is just one of those things, but we can stop it.
So I'm assuming that in your article, there are a list of the cities and states that have already gone this direction. People want to get a hold of that list so they can start calling city councils and legislative bodies in these states. Where do they go?
So go to my Substack. I link all 17 cities and states. You can see the new flag that was either approved or proposed. They all have the 8-point symbol.
Kevin McCullough coming right back from Times Square. Don't go away.
Stick around for more of That Kevin. Next, That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.